Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to make some craft items. This weekend is my craft show and I am majorly behind in the things that I wanted to make. So I'm going to show you today an item that I plan to sell. So let's get started. Alright, so let's make some craft items to sell. I have all of my materials here and the pattern will give you what the details of them are. First of all, what we need to do is I have some batting. Note that these are all scrap pieces, alright? So just use up some scraps for these things, which makes it very, very effective. I have my front, lining, pockets and my flap for closure here. And of course some leftover batting. What I am going to do, I have two different pieces just so that you know there literally is scraps, okay? And what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose this one as my front and this is my back. I'm going to work with the back first. So I'll put that there, and I'm also going to do my lining as well. And what I'm going to do first of all is to work with my lining. And all I'm going to do is to fold back 1/4 inch individually, both of them, and give that an iron there. Same on the other side. Now to ensure that you are cutting the same, what I would do is fold it, hence the reason for the seam line. And then I would simply cut both of them together to ensure I have the same measurement. So the next step is to simply take your batting, and I'm going to, you can do two things. You can take a little bit of glue and spray it down so that it sticks. I mean, in all honesty, you don't have to do that, okay? It should stick more or less. It should hold to it. And you're going to turn it right side out. Once you've stitched it along there, what you need to do is backstitch so that it doesn't come out. All right, and you're just going to fold it through, holding the batting, and flip it through. And all you need to do really is to make sure it's lovely and smooth and flat. Put your fingers through, let your fingers help you round off the curve that you did, and really get your fingers in there. So I'm going to give this a good press, and I'm going to go to top stitch all the way around. While I am at the sewing machine, what I am going to do also is to, because I've pressed these together, fold them over as I told you, 1/4 inch, and I've pressed them together. So what I'm going to do next is top stitch along there and press this first and top stitch all the way around this. And find the center point. I am going to put the front sides together that I want visual. So front side together like so. Flip it in. Right at the top, at the edge of that fold we did initially. Alright, once you've done that, what you need to do is take your wonder clips. You can use pins if you haven't got wonder clips, but sometimes the wonder clips tend to hold it better than the pins because it's a bit bulky. And once you've done that, just make sure it's in the middle. Now it's imperative that's in the middle. If it's not in the middle, you're going to find that it's slightly offset. So just ensure that it is before you actually go stitching it top side, front sides together, okay? It's very important. Alright, and then now what we're going to do is to top stitch all the way across there. Once I am done with that, I am now going to take my batting here and I'm going to flip it in between, and I'm going to sandwich it and quilt it just as I would for a quilt. So one stop stitch now, as you can see, it's all connected there now. So what we're going to do is open this back as wide as we possibly can, and we're going to take our batting and we're going to fit it in right to the top. Now you may be wondering, well, why did I not go ahead and fit the batting in? Honestly, I didn't want the bulk in between there. We already have those 3 layers here. There is no more need to add on more bulk, so hence the reason why we did it first. Once we've done that, all we need to do now is to fit it together, make sure it's lovely and smooth, and the next stage is to do some quilting lines. For this particular step, you need a heat erasable pen or some kind of marker that come off of the fabric once you finish quilting. So I usually use a heat erasable pen, and I'm going to start from point to point and give it a good old mark, and then measure across and continue to mark it down. So I'm making a crisscross line for my quilting until I reach the end. Now you can opt to do excuse me, you can opt to do it this way, or you can opt to use your sewing machine to approximate the measurement, or you can get the guide for your sewing machine, if you know what I'm referring to, and use that for your measurement. In all honesty, I'm just happy to do this. It's quicker and I can save time having to go look for that tool. So I've done one way and I'm going to continue to do the next way. Now what I would say to you is, if you're noticing that my batting is longer than my fabric here, that is intentional, because I want to trim my batting up once I have finished. Okay, I don't necessarily want batting in the fold, again, to avoid the seams being very bulky and thick. Okay, so again, those are informed decisions that you can take for yourself. So this is what I'm referring to here, but I just find it's just no need for it to be bulky. It is going to be a bulky project anyway. So that is what it looks like. Hopefully you can see the lines. I've used black so that it shows up properly on the camera there, so that you can see those crisscross lines. And all I'm going to do is just follow those lines for my stitching, and notice that my layers here, my lining is facing me. So basically it's wrong sides together. All right, so all the front of the fabric is up. Front sides up, wrong sides together, fitted in between with the batting. So what I'm going to do, as I said, is continue to stitch it, and we'll move on further. Alright, so I went ahead now and did the same for this one, and as well as the pocket. So I quilted it the same way. The pattern will give you all the details, etc., how to make the pocket. Alright, and so let's continue with this one now. So what I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to put them wrong sides together, or in fact this case the lining together, and make sure it's clipped, measured there, and I'm clipping it. So I'm just making sure they're all lined up using the clip to measure it, and I'm going to fold it over like so. Okay, now you don't want it fold over so that it's moving it like that. You want it to be fold over loosely. Okay, so a nice loose fold, and it fold over nicely, so you don't want it too tight over there. What you could do as a marker is put a nice seam there so it stays, and you'll understand why in a minute. Okay, but for now I'm just going to use my rotary, just hold it down there. So I'm going to take my pocket now, because I don't want it to go over my pocket. Now it's your bag, you can design it however you want. If you want it to go through your pocket, that's fine, you can. I don't want it to. So I'm going to move my pocket over to the right or the left, okay? Or if you want it centered, you can, but I'm going to move it over. And because my pockets have lines, I want to line it up either with the lines or against it. It doesn't really matter, it's down to you, all right, wherever you line yours up. So going back to this, the reason why I'm saying to you to make sure you have your correct fold, because you don't want it to be like so. All right, we want it to be above the pocket. So hence the reason why I say give it a little bit of leeway, okay, in terms that it's not tight and it's pulling it over like so. So just make sure it lines up where you want it to go. And that's it basically. So I'm going to take one of my clips and just pin it so that it stays in position. Because I don't want it to go beyond a certain mark. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So that's down and I've got the area where I want it to be. So now I'm going to decide where I want it to line up. So I don't want it too close to the end because that's where a seam line is going to go. I'm going to move away probably a few inches in. So it's just sort of, you know, offset. Okay, and I'm going to go right under where my closure is. So it sits right there nice and neat. If you want to have a little bit more gap, you can. So I'm happy with that. So I'm going to use my lines here to line up, as I said. Okay, so I know it goes straight across there. Okay, and yes, you will have some extension at the bottom there, but that's not important, is it? We have it extra long so that we can find where we want it to be positioned. So I'm going to now go in between and just pin it, because this is just the front of now, and just pin it there, okay, so that it stays. So I'm going to remove this now because I already have my indication where I want it to be. Okay, so separate it. And remember, these are all folded in already, and as I said, the pattern will tell you how. So all I'm going to do now is to top stitch. So I'm going to back stitch, go all the way down, back stitch, go all the way down. There's no need to sew across there because we're going to be closing it off anyway. So just top stitch, back stitch, come all the way down, and let's move on to the next one after that. At this stage, just double check that everything, the seam, etc., all seams have been met. If not, just literally go back in and stitch it again. Right, now to do the French seam, we're going to give this a nice press first so it's lovely and flat. Okay, so I've given it a nice press. What we're going to do now is do another seam. So now we have the inner side, okay, looking at us, and now we're going to give a good seam, seam across there. Now when you are stitching this, you need to make sure that this final stitch which you're about to do now is wide enough to really hide that raw seam on the other side. Okay, so just make sure, so probably I would say just do above a quarter of an inch to half of an inch, and just literally if not half but 3/4, whatever it is. I don't know how wide your seams are going to be. I've been using quarter of an inch to put all of this together. So anything beyond that is certainly going to hide the seam, and you're going to do the same thing, back stitch, come all the way, go all the way around, and then you're done. Alright, so now that that French seam is done, as you can see, it's lovely and neat, everything hidden away, and we're going to turn it right side out. The next we're going to do is just add in our closure clips, and then our project is finished, and I will show you what you've been making, because you've been wondering what on earth is she doing at this point. All right, so let me show you what I have actually made. I know you've been wondering, but what is it she's making? So I have made already a couple already. I saved the last one to share it with you and how to make it. So this is, let me show you. I already have this one prepared here. So phone goes there with your pen. Perfect for gifts and to sell, of course. Goes right in there, especially for students. Okay, and in there is your iPad. So a perfect storage case for your iPad. Put it in there, you flip it over, and that's what it looks like. So let's put this one in the one we've made together so you can see what it looks like. So phone. And you hear how that snap back really nicely. Goes in, pen goes in, or pens, you can add more than one, there's enough room for two. And iPad goes in. Beautiful and secure. Doesn't that look lovely? Okay. I've also made different sizes. Alright, so my iPad cannot fit into this one. It's exact, it will probably fit, but very snug. And this is for a smaller pad of whatever size you have. So yeah, so this is what we have been making. So I hope that this has encouraged you to try. And the reason why we quilted it is so that it's padded. Okay, so it's padded and it feels really supported of the actual iPad. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This one, I like this one, very floral, and this one as well, smaller. And these are two from the sort of similar scrappy fabrics that I had. Let me know what you think down below. The pattern will be there for you if you'd like to make it. Very quick project to sell, and they look really pretty. What you can do if you have extra fabric is to make little purses to go with them, so the person can buy like a set, or you can make an individual phone case and a purse as well. So yeah, or a little wallet or a coin purse to put a little change into. But yeah, everything fits in there nicely, can fit into your bag. Beautiful, beautiful project. Alright guys, so like and subscribe for more, and I shall definitely see you in the next video.